So at the lab gym here, we have a unique dynamic warm-up called the JTLC warm-up and mobility routine. It stands for Joint, Tendon, Ligament, and Central Nervous System warm-up and mobility routine. And it's something kind of new and perhaps obscure for people at first, and they're not really sure what it is or what it's all about, and they just go through it because the trainer makes them do it. But sometimes I think the point of it is kind of missed or lost on them, and when we see them then come in and kind of do it really quick and erratic, and they kind of would do head tilts and forward flexion extension type movements and lateral flexion extension type things, and they start to do these really quick and choppy and try to just get it done so they can get to the workout, and they really don't take their time to do these as appropriately as possible. And one thing that I must really reiterate is that this is probably the most important thing that you do each and every day of your exercise program. And whether you're doing our program or in our dynamic warm-up or whoever's, that's one of the most important things you have to consider. The whole point of this is actually to optimize your positional, anatomical, the limb lengths, or excuse me, the anatomical lengths between the antagonist and agonist muscle groups, your range of motion, your ability to move and just do general locomotion through the entire body. Now, the more stiff you get, the more pain you're going to suffer and feel, and the more likely you're going to actually be susceptible for injuries. So when you go through these warm-up routines and you do them with short, choppy, inadequate range of motion, you're actually reinforcing the bad position that you currently have. So you want to take your time and optimize that range of motion and really give this its due diligence and respect so that you're actually optimizing your range of motion. So our warm-up routine is built upon the premise of posture, mobility, and stability. So we first start with a postural position, and we're trying to reinforce the proper stable posture that you're going to utilize and reinforce whenever you strength train or exercise, and that's to keep you protected and safe. Everything from low back injuries to shoulder injuries and everything between cervical injuries are all intended to be prevented by having a strong, stable posture that you can reinforce and hold as you exercise. So you want to take the postural position seriously and actually really focus on that and really understand what it feels like every single day when you start off with that warm-up. Likewise, mobility and stability is very important in different joints of the body, and you really want to make sure that you're optimizing that as you warm up. So when you go through the workout, you're primed up and ready to go. It's also working on the nervous system to get you mentally prepared and get your nervous system warmed up and adequately firing to actually get you stronger earlier in the workout. Our hardest exercises are usually the first thing in the workout when you have the most energy. So we want to make sure you're lubricated and loosed at all your joints and moving correctly, so you don't have to use the exercise itself necessarily to do all your warming up. So if you do it that way, it's going to take you much longer to warm up, and you may do the whole exercise and never really feel just right, and it could just be a matter of stiffness and not being properly warmed up throughout the entire body. So you may go through that whole exercise and not really be warmed up until midway through the workout, and you really lost the benefit of the most bang for your buck exercise early on. So going back to really taking your time going through these motions, let's say you do sort of the shoulder circle kind of exercise. You do it real small and stiff. You're really keeping a short, wound up, tight range of motion for that shoulder, and it really needs to become a bit more mobile there. And if you don't practice that, you're just going to reinforce the problems that you already have. So take your time, go through the proper range of motion, really understand what's supposed to be executed and how it should be done, and think of it literally as the most important thing you do. When you lose your posture, mobility, or stability, or your ability to move through general ranges of motion at all your joints, that's one of the first most detrimental signs of aging that's going to make you handicapped and crippled. So it's not only going to not optimize your performance as an athlete, you name it, but it's actually going to make you less capable, less functional in your everyday life. So it's kind of think of the concept of use it or lose it. If you don't go through these motions on a daily basis now, cobwebs start to build up, you don't move as well, you start cracking and creaking a little bit more throughout the body, and you don't move as well. This should be a nice, easy warm-up routine that you can get through, feel better when you're done, and we even add some extra special corrective movements with this as well to work on any problem areas you might have. So it's, in my opinion, one of the most important things we actually do in our exercise program. You really want to make sure you take your time to do it correctly and don't just run through it and kind of jump over the cracks there just to get to the big, more exciting, fun exercises. So if you do that, you'll optimize the way you move, the way you feel, and you'll experience less and less everyday pains. Likewise, it's active recovery. So if whatever stress or damage you caused to your body from the day before, when you go through these motions, you're generating heat and going through a range of motion that should break up scar tissue, damaged cells, get blood and oxygen through that area, and heat, and actually make it feel better and help recycle out damaged tissue through that area. So please take your time to work, put the JTLC into your routine. Give yourself a good 15 minutes ahead of time to get to the workout before you're supposed to start. get it done, and that way you're ready for the workout, and you're not rushed or stressed, and you're not anxious. You're focused and warmed up for the workout. You got your posture, mobility, and stability all in check. Your nervous system's ready to go, and you're gonna have the best workout of your life.